Well, my name is Tiffany. I was 25 when I was diagnosed. I'm 26 now, very wise, year older. So I was diagnosed through my physical. I had in January of 2013, and I was telling my doctor about how I didn't know what a lump felt like. And she had been very proactive about testing my sister, or like doing breast checks, and she was going to start mammograms and MRIs at 25, which was that physical was when she was going to start running for MRIs and mammograms. So I said, well, I don't know what a lump feels like, so no, I haven't been doing self-breast exam. And she said, well, give me your hand, and there was a lump. And she's like, how long has that been there? I have no idea, because I haven't been doing them. I thought about lying for a little bit, but no. So, she's your doctor, you can't lie. So, they rushed me in for a diagnostic mammogram, and then they took some biopsies, and she called me about 10 days later, not about, exactly 10 days later, and she told me, I'm sorry to tell you, but you have breast cancer. So that was a little shocking because it was also at work. So I called, I work at the hospital, I'm a pharmacist, and I was verifying orders, doctor's orders that they put in. And I called my partner, who was my lunch partner, and she's one of my friends from pharmacy school, and I told her, I'm sorry, can you cover my queue for a minute? And she just said, why? And we talked about it this year at my 1-year cancerversary, and because I said, well, I have breast cancer, I need to make some phone calls. And she was just like, is this a joke? Are you kidding me? And then I hung up, and she was just confused. So, yeah, it was different. My mom was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 2007, so the hardest part of the cancer diagnosis was telling my mom and how I was going to do that. I wasn't really sure. I actually didn't tell her that there was any kind of chance of any kind of breast cancer or any kind of lump. After my physical, I figured if it was nothing, there was no need to worry her. So the next day, my sister and I and her best friend sat down for dinner, and I prepared this great dinner and everything, and she was just like, what is this all about? And so I had to tell her, and it was really hard. So I don't recommend just telling your mom, oh, hey, breast cancer, and then moving on. So she, of course, wanted to go to every single appointment, wanted to be there for everything. We talked about doing infusions together, but at that point in time, I was like, I won't have to do chemo. It's so early, probably I can just, get it chopped off and then we're good to go. But I went to my doctor's appointments, and Dr. Furnett, who's my oncologist, said, no, we need to do the whole thing. We need to do chemo, surgery, radiation, all of that. So it was a little different. I wasn't expecting it. So they decided to do chemo first and not do the surgery first, which is what a lot of people do. But so I actually am stage 2 on the right side and stage 1 on the left side, because when I went to go to get the MRI, they found just a little bit of cancer, a little bit different than the right side, which is also very interesting. So previously, before I knew I had it in my left side, I was going to do a bilateral mastectomy anyways. I didn't really want to worry about the other side, but had to do it both anyways. So I got the gene testing, and I found out I was BRCA1 positive, and so is my sister, who at the time, I think she was 23, right? She's turning 25 this year. Her birthday's in April. So, yeah, we got tested and we're both positive, and I started chemo pretty soon. I think the first big thing that happened was I got this port here, and it's kind of like, oh, this is real, because I didn't have surgery. Most people, they get surgery and all of a sudden it's real because they don't have boobs, but I still have my boobs. So I did chemo, I did AC, plus the Taxol, and the AC is adriamycin or doxorubicin, and the C is for cyclophosphamide or cytoxin, and that was 4 rounds, and then I did weekly paclitaxel after that for 12 weeks with Herceptin, which I did for a year. And the AC is, when I was in school, AC is a standard. Like everybody used to get it, they still get it now. Lots of studies are compared against it. And I used to counsel patients on chemo, and I remember all of these side effects I would tell them, and I'm running through them in my head, and I was like, alopecia. Okay. And then they're like nausea, vomiting, and they give you like tons of meds for that. And I was just like going down the list, and it's a little scary. So I was like, I'll be fine, I'll be fine. So the oncologist also makes you watch this DVD, which was very interesting. Hearing it all again, I was like, okay, whatever. So, but I did the AC, and it wasn't bad. It really wasn't. Sure, my hair fell out, but I figured out that I have a pretty round head, so it's pretty nice. And the nausea wasn't bad at all, but I was so surprised at how tired it makes you. I got on a good schedule with work though. They let me off the Friday after chemo, so that was good. But then I did surgery, which was, I don't know, I didn't know what to expect, so it was fine. And then I had radiation after surgery, and that was hard because you have to go every single day. I don't even take pills every single day, well, so going every day to something was hard for 6 weeks. And as far as my life changing since then, I've met a lot of people who have really inspired me. You can't really say, like, you know, when you're 20, you're like, oh, I'll just wait until 24 to start making a budget when I graduate college. And you put off a lot of things that because you think you have so much time, and honestly, like, why not? If you're able to do something, I would just do it. Life is short. Not saying that, like, being diagnosed with breast cancer, you are gonna die and your life is over, but it's not over, and honestly, it probably starts for a lot of people. And I've had a lot of fun meeting new people and trying new things. Last year, my sister and I were like, well, we got invited to this event. It sounds awful, but hey, we haven't gone before, so we just went, and some things were awful, and some things were a lot of fun. So I think that's really been a little different, whereas, you know, I could just concentrate on my career right now. I just graduated from pharmacy school, but I mean, career isn't everything. Having friends and being with people you love is so much better.